Cory, first of all, this gives effectively Masayoshi's son the biggest fund in all of tech. What does that mean?
Yeah, the biggest fund in all of tech. I mean, it's sort of hard to imagine how such a fund, not quite the $100 billion that they announced it was going to be, but even $93 billion, how that can be effectively used, right? I mean, startups require less and less cash outside of the world of biotech, but require less and less cash in the early days of funding. And so just finding deals, let alone nurturing those deals, is going to be hard to do. Now, interestingly, it's not all cash going into the fund. Their stake in ARM Holdings, a big and long-standing semiconductor fund, is part of the contribution to this fund, but nonetheless, it's just a giant behemoth of a fund that would probably be hard to manage.
Now, there's been a lot of speculation about why it took so long to raise the fund. What do we know about that?
I've been trying to raise $100 billion for a very long time, and it's taken me. They beat me to it. So it's all relative. I think raising the largest venture capital fund in the history of finance is sort of an amazing feat, especially given that the track record of these guys as investors outside of the work at SoftBank. And SoftBank has nurtured many companies, but it's a new structure for a new kind of fund. So I think really that maybe the announcements were a little bit premature, but the goal was astronomical in terms of its ambition just to raise the money. But to put the money to use is a whole different ticket. The other question out there is going to be, what are the fees going to be like for this fund? Are they really going to go 2 and 20 with this fund, or will the fee structure be very different? Because they'll be sitting on a lot of cash for a very long time before they put the money to work.
Now, we've talked a lot about that meeting between President Trump and Masayoshi's son, where Masa said that a lot of this money would be going towards tech innovation in the United States, will create jobs in the United States. How much economic opportunity do you think this can really create here in the U.S.?
Well, I think it's curious where the money is going to be invested, and we don't really have a notion of that. The sums are so large suggests that SoftBank might have entree to certain deals that others would not. And so the real question is, where is the money going to be invested? Is it going to be invested in the U.S. or beyond? With this much money at play, and the notion that it's going to be focused on technology, one might imagine it will be invested globally, not just in the U.S., but certainly some portion of it definitely in the U.S., because it would be hard not to.